The gacha game is developing so fast and intensely. Most of the new games quickly get 100,000 players, even a million players. By this number, I can see the potential this game will become in the future. In this video, our team is updating the new gacha game that released globally and the most anticipated gacha games for mobile. Remember to like this video to get 200 likes. Thanks! Top 10 Best No Pay to Win Gacha Games Mobile. Best Gacha Games for Android and iOS. You can support this channel and send us a special thanks. Starseed Asnia. Starseed Asnia Trigger. Finally, we have a new gacha game with the best graphic for mobile. This game has been released but only in a specific country. But lucky I can get an amazing experience. Probably it will become one of the best gacha games like that everyone would like to play. It's not an idle game, but you can manage the combat into fully auto battles. But of course, playing with manuals would be the best way to win through the combat. Because we can drag the main hero skill and aim into the alliance to boost the defense buff. All of the skill showcase are absolutely stunning. We can build up the energy slightly in every second. Just tap the hero's icon to unleash the skill. The first time we do a gacha, we will get a super rare hero freely which holds a sword and becomes one of the best damage dealers for an early game. I notice every single hero is a female with a cool and attractive appearance. Strengthening your hero with your equipment, level, and skill. In-game, you can speed up the game multiple times faster and end the game in a flash. There is some storyline just before and after the combat, with a great voiceover characters. Starseed Asnia Trigger is the best anime gacha RPG game for Android and mobile. Mai Battle Chronicle. This is the best new gacha games Android and iOS. I would say it 100%. In fact, we will get so many chances on summoning the hero that you guys desire to get by keep redrawing gacha in unlimited chance. Look at how many ultra rare hero I got and SSR hero I got from my first 10 summons. I got 2 of those each. This is the best way to give satisfaction to the player from the game's developer. I think the other games should do the same as this system. The gameplay of Mai Battle Chronicle is we can boost the team's combat power by placing the team's assist. So we will have 3 of support allies and 3 also switchable heroes. By the switchers, we can get through the dungeon way easier. In fact, the monster appear is not pretty much. The combat mechanism is we need to hit the enemy to recharge every single skill we have. Try to keep your skill until you are fighting the last boss, because the boss has a huge amount of HP and he can call a barrier to become resistant. We need a lot of damage to break his barrier. The skill would be the best option for it then. This is the best no pay to win gacha game ARPG for Android and iOS. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. At the first game's launch, of the player doubt a little about the game's concept becomes a gacha-based game, which is we all know how the Final Fantasy VII has the fanatic fans that love the storyline. No wonder this game getting so much hatred before it launched globally. But the developer just answered the question by giving a newbie player such an amazing free S-tier weapon at the beginning. Even I got 2 times super rare equipment with the legendary tier. By using this weapon, we will easily pass through the early combat and can enjoy the storyline. Actually, we can play the game co-op with the other players, but we will get a random partner, so we cannot depending on the other players. Luckily, we have such an amazing start by a new equipment. That's why I would say this is the best gacha game for mobile. The combat mechanism of Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis is that we need to be active in creating the chance. Maintaining the energy is the key point to unleash the ultimate skill. We can tap the autoplay button and also semi-combat or manual. Faster the whole gameplay would be the best option for you to gain some equipment. Jujutsu Battle. Jujutsu battles Tokyo Saga. Even the anime has action games, but actually the game's version is way more simple, which is becoming one of the best gacha RPG games with an idle gameplay. The 4th summon that we have from the tutorial will give us SSR hero, but then after we reach level 18 of our main level, then we can pick 3 different hero with SSR grades hero freely. This is so amazing how we have so many chances to get the highest rank hero in the early game. I cannot find any long story since playing it. Probably the developers try to push the game's experience in casual, so we can play the game way more simple through idle mode. The gameplay of Jujutsu Battle Tokyo Saga is we don't need to touch any buttons. Every action will do automatically and lock the target randomly. We cannot navigate anything while in the combat. Even the skill of ourselves will unleash automatically. The skill showcase is really interesting. I love how the game's visualization is pretty satisfying to me. Even though the game has a portrait perspective, we can still enjoy the whole gameplay while doing another activity. Only play with one finger, that would be enough to do a multitasking. Seriously, this is the best gacha games for mobile, I'm sure of it. Unfortunately, the game are only available in the US. Hopefully we'll get the full release globally then. Fourth Age Idol RPG. Fourth Age Idol RPG. This is the best game RPG gacha for mobile. Unfortunately, I didn't find any news yet. Our team tried to get it by looking on Google, website and any social media. The reason why we give a huge effort on getting the news is because I love how the game's visual. It doesn't have any anime art style, but it has a western character design, which this kind of appearance would giving a new game's experience then. The game has a turn-based game concept which every player will have the same turn. The gameplay of Fourth Age Idol RPG is every player will have a chance to recharge the energy by hitting the enemy or being beaten up by the enemy. The skill showcase is not flashy and not too much skill scenes, which makes the game finish way faster in a dynamic combat. But of course, as the game name, we can turn this game into idle by tapping the auto button and doubles the speed. Fourth Age is the best upcoming gacha RPG games for Android and iOS. One Piece Dream Pointer. One Piece Dream Pointer. This is the best One Piece game for gacha-based game. I love the game was made by the official games developer that made the game look 100% similar to the actual anime. The voiceover and how the skill showcase is absolutely fantastic. The game is in portrait or vertical perspective. Unfortunately, we cannot rotate it into landscape because many of the players want it to become a horizontal perspective. But I know the reason why they make it, because they want to represent a casual and simple gameplay where we can manage every single action just by one finger. In fact, in game we just need to drag the skill and lock the target by dragging it into the enemy that you are desire. Make sure you concern the advantage element, which we will get a huge different damage if we can find the weakness of the enemy. The main allies will automatically join us like Zoro, Nami, but the other crew can be recruited through gacha. Even the game seems pretty simple, but the game size is quite big. Seven Night Rebirth. Seven Night Rebirth. It's like a dream come true. I'm sure every player who loves gacha game will feel so happy seeing the Seven Night has a new remake with a better graphic and way better visual scenes, because this game was made by the most powerful engine, probably the first of the best gacha RPG game made by Unreal Engine 5 on mobile. I really hope the developer behind this project, which is Netmarble, will keep their gacha rate on the higher level. The news about Seven Night Rebirth is they will keep the game's mechanism the same as the previous one, and also how the screen menu UI button is pretty similar within those games. But from the game's trailer, we can see the gap between them is about the graphic and how the character's appearance. It's not chibi anymore, but looks more 3D. I love how to see the actual footage of the skill showcase is absolutely masterpiece. I'm sure it will become the most played gacha game RPG for Android and iOS. AFK Journey. AFK Journey Global. This game is absolutely fantastic, one of the best AFK games, but I have a question. Why this game should play manual while we are looking for the mission? But the game's title has an AFK word. In fact, we are only able to play automatically while in the combat. Overall, I will admit how the developer did a great job on delivering the storyline through the game. We have so many cutscenes that are telling us about the story. The gameplay of AFK Journey Global is we will play as a team with some allies. We can deploy, placing the right heroes style in front line or back line will create a different result. The Gauge Meter skill will automatically recharge slightly in a second. Unfortunately, we cannot lock the target or aim it into the enemy because the skill will lock randomly. On the Play Store, it has such a high score, which is more than 4.5 stars. Such an impressive achievement. This is the best gacha game for Android and iOS. Crystal Knights 32. Crystal Knights 32 player rate. This is a new best gacha game with a very simple gameplay. Yes, it has a fully auto game based with an idle RPG concept. So the main gameplay is we need to compete between all players over the world to reach top rank in leaderboard. The player who can reach the rank will get a huge of reward. The game mechanism is really interesting, where we have 4 heroes on our side and they all have the same power and also balanced status, which makes it different. We can navigate all of the heroes and move them as you want. Actually, this is an auto game. We only need to manage the heroes formation to deploy the right positions. We can do a gacha to learn a new skill, get some artifact and also equipment. I have never seen any idle game that comes with a high graphic games and is full of attention to detail. This game is just a new release gacha game that you guys need to try and play now. Resonance Solstice. Resonance Solstice. On China, this game becomes one of the best gacha games and has been downloaded over 1 million players. No wonder the gacha rate is pretty high, which I get 3 SR hero freely and able to wipe the enemy out so easily. The game has a card system mechanism where we have a lot of chance of unleashing the skill as long as we have enough energy. The energy will always recharge frequently. I really love the game's graphics that are full of chibi character design. The game will run perfectly on mid-range phones when we set the graphic into ultra settings. These all are the reason why this game is becoming the most played gacha RPG for mobile in a specific region. Honestly, I don't understand the language at all, but the gameplay really gets my attention. It feels like we are playing in a chaotic mode where every skill can be cast at the same time. Seriously, the visual skill is so flashy. Some of the players would love to play it because we will collect a female hero at all. But please note, the game really needs a lot of free space to play. Resonance Solstice is the best RPG game for mobile. Best gacha game you must play now. Crosscore. Bonus Crosscore. I don't know exactly why Chinese game always makes a good game of gacha based game. Trust me, look at this game how they create the game gacha with so much potential to play for any people who really like to play a gacha games as their main games genre. They will play this game when it's released globally. Look at how many 5 stars heroes I have. Yes, I got 4 high tier heroes just for free, which is no pay to win gacha game. I would like you all to enjoy this game's visual, especially the ultimate skill that will represent their own special effects. Crosscore will become the best gacha RPG game for Android and iOS. These all are the best gacha games for mobile, and I'm sure you all will enjoy and notice about the upcoming gacha game that you need to anticipate. Please help this video get to 100 likes. See you on the next video. Thanks.